Question. Would it be good if teenagers were like cars? Well, I suppose Snow Patrol have considered that. Reliable, undemanding and cheap to run. What kind of car is that? But of course, they're not cars, as you may have noticed, particularly if you're a teenager listening this morning. And also, unlike cars, they don't ever come home with an owner's manual, until now. Over the years on this show, we've been huge fans of the internationally renowned Haynes series of manuals. I first came into contact with this particular series when I was in my teens myself, when they were genuinely writing about cars. And I think it was the Fiat 124 Sports Coupe Haynes manual that was most thumbed in my house.
Did you present a car show on Radio 2? Remember we were looking up one of your first shows?
I did actually, yeah.
Is that where the Motormouth tag came from?
I don't know where the Motormouth came from.
But there was a programme that featured cars bizarrely on a Saturday or something.
That was called Saturday Scene.
Cool.
And we used to interview interesting people, most of whom I'd never heard of or met before.
About their cars.
But other people had heard about them and met them before. No, there were cars was a section in it.
No, because I just remember cars was emphasised. What else was in it? It was music in it.
It was 3 hours. It was kind of a template for this programme,
cool.
To be honest, many, many years ago.
People dropping in.
There were interviews, people rang in. I played incredibly inappropriate music for a long period of time and got away with it.
As in indulgent, like you were prog rock stuff.
Yeah. And it wasn't,
Floyd
and I would constantly be brought upstairs and they'd show me the playlist, and I thought the playlist was maybe, things you might do when you went home or something, but no, it wasn't. It was
the music policy
suggested record. I have to say, in fairness to RTE, they were never all that mad keen on sort of telling you what to play on a radio programme. I don't remember them being that mad keen. But it was a fine show, I think, Evelyn. And
Saturday Scene.
Young media students want to go back through the archives. They'll be able to find wire recordings of the programme available.
If I ever get around to writing that media thesis, that's the show.
Yeah, that's indeed. Will I go back to your
go back to your intro.
Here?
No, I love you in cars.
Over the years on this show, we have been huge fans of the internationally renowned Haynes series of manuals. They're usually about cars and motorbikes and are fantastic reference books that explain the workings of the individual types of engines, etc., 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 all the bits and pieces of machinery. In recent times, they've broadened out, though, and their titles have now included babies, men, women, sex and alcohol. And now it's the turn of the Haynes people to focus on teenagers. That's right. And it's been quite a few years since...
you like this,
Who wrote this?
I wrote this. As it's been... Go on. Keep going. No, you'll like this, honestly.
And as it's been quite a few years since I was a cool, hip, trendy teenager myself, I need some help to plough through this manual. So, if you're aged around 13 to 18, good morning. Wake up! Listen up. We might have a little task for you. Do we pay them? Of course we do.
Of course, yeah. Huge.
To help me find a couple of book reviewers this morning, I'm joined in the studio by teenager Evelyn O'Rourke, child bride, to describe the book that we're going to be asking our younger listeners to review.
So we need the teenagers to wake up.
We wake them up again. Wake up, young people!
And then they have a second job to do. They have to get call credit topped up to call us. Call credit. Get me some call credit.
Where's my phone? Gerry Ryan. Run upstairs, Mammy, because this is probably the correct route, isn't it?
Yes.
Gerry Ryan's looking for young people to review a thing on the radio. Who? Gerry Ryan. I thought he was dead. Oh, he's not dead, you little... Get up, you'd be interested. They're going to pay people. Between 13 and 18, that's you. I'll be up in a minute. Where's me breakfast? Remember, I'm a vegetarian. I'll only have one sausage.
Where's me phone? We call credit now. Will you run to the shop and get €5? Call credit. Anyway, so that scenario has been played out. What number do they ring then? They ring 1850 715 922.
Or you could text 51552. You could email if you can get over to the computer and get your brother off RuneScape. I've only been on RuneScape for 18 hours. Leave me alone. You can GRS at rte.ie. By the way, please, Bebo, RuneScape. 2 hours, even 3 hours I can tolerate. There are people now in my house who do not do anything else except that.
It's a kind of an occupation. It's like a career choice. I RuneScape.
And then I hear things like, he deleted me from RuneScape. He deleted me from RuneScape.
It's over.
Did you delete your sister from RuneScape? No. Well, why did you say that to her? I just did. She was annoying me and Tyke.
And I love then, there's nothing like the anguish. It's over. I've been deleted.
Yeah, and we've got one of the computers in our house is right smack bang on top of the home cinema system, right? So
how did you let that happen?
Well, it's been moved, I can assure you.
I hope so.
It's going to be moved. And so the Bebo people in my house who go on Bebo by kind of draping themselves over the computer. So I'm there going, with the remote control.
Band of Brothers.
This
louder.
will not penetrate the human body. The remote control, it cannot get through to the infrared section. Oh, God. Can you move a bit? Yeah, okay. No, not half an inch, your entire body. So
you sound like you need this book, The Teenager Manual, Gerry, to read, have some light bedtime reading yourself.
There's an opinion abroad that I am basically mental age, kind of 17, that's where they think I'm at the moment.
Which is even more proof.
The RT psychiatrist had a look at me there recently.
Oh, really? You went back?
Yeah.
After the last time?
Yeah, and their conclusion is about mental age 17, responsibility 14.
Mm-hmm. That's a development. It was 13 last time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They're
and
coming
also
on.
they believe that I'm psychotic. Only fake my understanding of morality.
Which is one trait that every successful radio presenter needs.
Yeah.
So well done, you.
Yeah, I've passed.
God, that's fantastic.
So are you all awake? Are you all awake? Because we have a book, a very important book.
It's a manual.
Actually,
it's not even a book, it's a manual.
It's a manual, the Teenager Manual. Now, we're asking teenagers to review this, but it's not really designed for them to read. This is designed for your parents to read.
Exactly.
That's why we think it'd be interesting if you read it first.
Did they get it right? Is their advice completely mad? Yeah. Is it just completely off the wall? Do they understand you? Do they give your parents the right messages to handle all the different things that crop up during the teen years? So that's why we want you guys to read it, to tell us where they went wrong or where they got it right. No point in parents coming along, they'll go, oh yeah, no, it's lovely, I learnt a lot. What we
Actually,
need
look
is
here,
the
here's
subjects of it to tell
this is the chat rooms, bulletin boards, online activities. Experts recommend that PCs be placed in family rooms where parents can monitor what their children are watching.
Well, that's what you have, isn't it?
It's possible to buy nanny software to screen out offensive material, but beware that computer literate teens find it simple to override such programs. You control the means of access, set clear rules. For instance, if they delete the browser history and passwords, their internet privileges will be withdrawn. How many parents actually even know what that means? Nothing beats getting to know the net yourself, not the hairnet, the internet. Make time to familiarise yourself with current technology. Being able to switch on the computer and switch it off is not enough. Now, is that good advice? Do you want your parents in the first place to know any of it? Well, we're looking for you to review this book. What else? I'm lost now. What else can I say?
Well, no, what I love about this book, though, is that it talks about the fact, you see, what you have to realise when you're teenagers, you used to be a toddler and you used to do everything you were told and you used to be really sweet and your mom could tell you what to wear, and then you were 6 and 7 and everything was about pleasing your parents and look at the lovely picture I made in school today. And then you're 10 and you're kind of getting a bit more confident.
This is you.
Exactly.
Oh, that's it. Look, you're my boyfriend. I'm going to marry you when I get older.
And then you're 10. You're a bit more confident, a little cheekier, but you're still kind of loving your folks.
Love you, Dad.
Love you,
Don't kiss me in front of everybody, though.
But I'll kiss you after.
Yeah.
Then you turn 13 and you turn 14 and suddenly Mom isn't in control anymore and she completely loses the plot. Dad thought that he'd have that slightly more special relation with the child because he'd been around as a teen himself, but suddenly he's excluded and you suddenly have this so-called grumpy person living in your house when they bother to turn up.
Yeah, but remember, they also think that you've developed into an alcoholic, overweight,
heroin addict,
yeah, and
sex obsessive,
and you're telling me not to drink. What's that in your hand? Which is actually a good point because I made the speech about the alcohol.
You did not while holding
a large whiskey in my hand.
You need this manual.
Now that you're going out tonight, guys, remember. Oh. Yes.
Oh, you drink.
Remember to come home because I can't give the speech because I'm actually holding a drink in my hand.
But what I think is really...
Don't have sex. How did you have us? Well, I had sex, but I was married.
When a man and woman are very much in love and married, when two goldfish or two frogs,
their fins touch.
What's sweet about this book, which I kind of like at the heart of it, is that the point is made again and again. You have this tension, right? You have this teenager who's trying to find their own identity and wants to break free from the family, and you have this family who are going, where is the sweet little child gone? And actually, the teenager does need to be loved and minded back at home, and home has to mind the teenager.
Here,
but it's how you coordinate it.
Dr. Pat Spungen. Gemma's on the line.
Spungen, I think.
Spungen.
Let's give her a soft G.
Gemma, good morning.
Good morning.
How old are you?
I'm 13.
Okay, welcome. Where do you live, Gemma?
In Lucan.
Okay. And you're wide awake already this morning, are you?
Yeah.
Are you a Bebo girl, are you?
Yeah.
How long do you stay on Bebo?
Well, not too long.
How long, be honest?
I'll
know if you're lying. I'll see it in your eyes.
Maybe an hour or two.
Or 3 or 4. Have you brothers?
Yeah, I have one.
How old is he?
He's 8.
Does he go on RuneScape?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What level's he on?
I don't know.
Yeah. You know that a fella in Japan killed one of his friends to get a sword from him on RuneScape. Didn't kill him on RuneScape, went over to his house and killed him.
That's
and stole
crazy.
The virtual sword. It's true. Now, Gemma, would you like to review this book?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to introduce you to my friend, Evelyn O'Rourke. Evelyn, say hello to Gemma.
Hey, Gemma, how are you?
Hi.
Now, we have to test you to see if you're the right kind of person
We
to
do
review
indeed.
this book. Over to you, Evelyn, for the test.
Well, I'm going to ask Gemma, because Gemma, you're 13, aren't you?
Yeah.
And when did you turn 13?
They're at the start of June.
Oh, you're a new, brand new teenager.
Yeah.
Belated happy birthday.
And when you woke up that morning, did you feel weird and funny? Did you start rowing and banging doors the way you'd never done before?
No, I didn't really feel too different, but now it's starting to feel different now.
It's clicking in now, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we want to test you a little bit to make sure you're a real-life adolescent, right? Okay. Can you think of 2 kind of issues that this book might think are important for teenagers and their parents to talk about? 2 kind of topics that would probably be mentioned in this book.
Well, probably,
What kind of topics do you think they'd be giving advice on?
well, probably not to fight that much, because you sort of have a row with your parents if you do something wrong or...
Communication.
Very good. That's excellent, Gemma. That's
well done.
very much at the heart of this book.
Good, yeah.
And what's the... can you name another topic you think they might cover?
One area that they will be talking to you about soon, or think that they have to, that they weren't talking to you about before.
Well, just maybe how to grow up and how you have to learn how to be your own and about more to be independent in yourself.
Excellent.
Very good.
Personal
That's
identity.
Leaving the nest syndrome.
Fantastic. That's exactly the kind of stuff they cover in this book. I think she sounds like somebody who'd be well able. And yet she's a brand new teenager as well, which I quite like. You know, she's just
Let's
starting
just check
the whole era.
out to make sure that she is a brand new teenager. Who's your favourite band at the moment, Gemma?
Well, I have a few.
We've lots of time.
Lots of time.
Well,
Don't say
probably
Pink
like,
Floyd, Gemma.
Do you know Nelly Furtado?
Oh, she's cute.
We do like Nelly Furtado, yeah.
And Fergie.
And Fergie.
Not
Yeah.
the Fergie, the other one.
Do we play enough of them on the radio, do we?
Not really.
Not really, no. Who do you hate?
Well, I hate all them old bands like El Divo and...
Oh, the sort of opera.
G4 and
Yeah.
the kind of opera singery ones.
Yeah.
Nessendorma, Nessendorma. Would that make you get sick listening to that, would it?
Definitely.
Okay, I think she's definitely a
She's
teenager.
definitely a teenager.
Now, tell me something that your mum and dad say that didn't seem too bad last year, but now when they say it now, it really makes you go, oh, God.
Well, maybe it'd be like we're going shopping for clothes or something and I find a top that I like and they're like, oh no, it's too low for you and you need to get something that covers up and I didn't mind it too bad last year, but now all my friends are wearing nice clothes and I just want to wear them too.
She's a teenager.
You're a
Right
teenager.
there, ladies and gentlemen.
What about,
right
and
there.
Your dad never says this because your dad doesn't really get involved that much on these things, but what about when your mum says, that's lovely?
Yeah, that's a bit annoying sometimes.
That's lovely.
Very nice outfit.
Because you know when she says that's lovely, what she really means is that would have been lovely on Annie in the stage musical.
Yeah.
Okay, I think she's definitely passed the test.
Definitely.
What's your favourite television programme? Do you like the OC, do you?
That's all right. I don't really know. I don't really have favourites. I like watching movies.
What movie did you watch recently that you really enjoyed?
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Oh, my girls love that. What's that about?
It's just about...
Is it a bit cruel towards boys, is it?
Well, not really, because it's about a boy trying to get a girl in 10 days and a girl trying to lose a guy in 10 days.
Yeah, I believe it's absolutely hilarious. Well, judging by the laughter that comes the 5th time after they watched it in my house.
And they know every word.
Okay, I think you've passed the test.
She's a real live teenager.
She's a real live teenager, and that's
put her
official.
name into the mix.
Your name is going into the teenageometer, right? Good morning.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. And a polite one at that, thank you. Because you'd never say thank you to your parents, though, but you will.
See, that's what teenagers do. They're polite outside the home. Oh, yeah. What's that phrase? Street angel, house devil.
No, that's what you say about your husband.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, that too. and of course, we know that men remain teenagers for, well, pretty close till they're about 60.
No, they think they do. This is the pathetic part. You see, you think you do because you think it's kind of, oh no, you don't.
Oh no, it's not about. It's just
no,
about.
It is.
It's about levels of responsibility.
No,
it's about.
But you've held down a mortgage. You've held down a vaguely competent job. You've run a family home. If you actually were 17, you couldn't have done that. But you kind of like to think you are, and we let you think you are because that way you just.
You've only done that because there's somebody there telling you to do it.
But you're doing it yourself.
Oh, no,
you get up out of bed in the morning, come into work clean and competent,
what would I do if I could get away with it?
But you see, that's the escape hatch at the back of your mind. You keep going, oh, if I wasn't told to be here, I wouldn't be here. I'd be on the Mitch. But you wouldn't go on the Mitch. You are mature. You have to accept this.
She's telling me I'm mature. I don't like it. Owen, good morning.
Hi.
I'm Owen, 15 years of age, all the way from Cork. Good morning. You'd like to review the Teenager Manual.
Yeah.
Practical advice for all parents by Dr. Spungen.
Spungen!
Sorry, I keep mispronouncing it. Damage limitation for drink, drugs and sex. What parents can expect. Young adolescents' physical development. Teenagers' emotions. Are you getting embarrassed yet? Friends and social life. Do you feel physically ill? Your teenagers' health and well-being. Encouraging good behaviour. Family matters.
And in items like this, you have to say sexuality. You can't say sexuality. You have to say sexuality.
Education, earning and independence. Risky behaviour.
Risky behaviour? Owen's never heard of risky behaviour.
Owen, so we're going to give you the test here. You're going into junior cert, I'd say, are you?
Yeah.
Well, that'll be good crack. Let's see. Over to Evelyn.
We have to test if you really are a true teenager. You're 15.
Yeah.
Okay. You heard Jem there talking about a couple of the issues she thinks issues for this mature item, issues that will be tackled in this book. Do you have 2 more ideas of things that you just know are going to be in this book that they're going to try and give advice to parents for?
Of them, or that you think
you may laugh and mock at them. In fact, that's probably recommended. But can you think of 2 other topics that you just know are buried in this book that you'll have to read through?
Probably sex.
You see, he's 15 and he's right there.
15.
He's a true teenager.
It's in there. There's not much on sex, by the way, and the reason I think that there's not much on sex in it is because parents would be just too embarrassed to think that their teenagers are thinking about sex. But it's in there, you're right. Another area?
Coming home drunk or something.
Oh,
Coming
very
home
good.
absolutely
behaviour.
Off your head. Would that go into the risky behaviour section?
How should you handle that, Owen, do you think?
Well, I couldn't.
Put yourself in the place of a parent and your lovely 14-year-old arrives delivered at the door.
I'd throw him out.
Would you? Have you ever done it yourself?
Not yet.
Not yet, but you're sort of aiming in that direction.
Fingers crossed, eh?
Yeah.
Well, the best thing to do, to be perfectly honest, is whatever you actually do, don't bring it home. That was generally my approach. My mother was very tolerant. I remember my brother conking out on the stairs. And it was always down to a bad bottle of beer, not a bad 15 bottles of beer.
I would collapse on the floor if a teen was delivered home to me in that state.
I brought him home.
I'd be gutted.
And Mum got sandwiches and stuff and brought them out in the landing, and I put a sleeping bag over them.
Stop.
I'm not saying which one it was.
And fed him sandwiches.
No, don't be ridiculous. He was too ill.
But come here, what happened the next day? The poor parents.
Bottle.
Poor parents,
a
poor
bad
parents.
bottle. That's what it was put down.
And everyone accepted the bad bottle theory.
Bad bottle theory.
No, I would just
a stale bottle
them.
of Smithwick's. That's how it was always explained away in my house. Now, so let's see. You've identified 2 areas. That's pretty good. Okay, let's check out musically. What do you enjoy?
Snow Patrol.
Yep.
50 Cent, kind of.
50 Cent?
Kind of, yeah.
50 spoofer, actually. That's
Fiddy, actually, is how the young people call him.
50 Cent.
50 Cent.
Or 2 and 6pence, as we call them in this office. But you're still listening. You can't, if you want to get my 17-year-old guy going, just slag 50 Cent. It drives me mad. And who do you hate?
Oh, jeez.
Feel free, they're not listening.
Isla Grant.
Who?
Isla Grant and Daniel O'Donnell and all the
sorry, I thought you were
singers.
talking about some of your old friends there for a second. You don't like Daniel O'Donnell?
Or Isla Grant.
Who's Isla Grant?
Isla Grant wasn't she the really kind of pretty Scottish singer from years ago? She's
Yeah, my
This is
mother
a-
liked
a
that.
Mary O'Hara type.
Yeah. And tell us something that your parents say that really just makes you feel as if you'd like to go and sleep on the roof.
Are you going to put that money in the post office?
Or spend it on drink. That's enough to get you going, all right? Are you going to put that money in the post office? You're a little bit too old now to be told what to wear, so I presume you don't hear the, that's lovely. All right, I think you're qualifying, I think, big time, isn't he?
Yes, definitely put that name into the mix.
How cynical are you, by the way, Owen?
What do you mean?
Do you sneer a lot?
I would be slightly sarcastic, yeah.
Yeah, that's good, yeah. Well, don't lose that, by the way. You might even get a job.
We need that for this book as well. We want people to be very honest.
We want sneering.
We want sneering, we want mocking.
Okay, Owen passes the test. Owen, thank you. Take a bow. Good morning. And remember, it was a bad bottle, Mum. That's the best explanation. And they made me drink it. Richard, good morning to you.
How you doing, Gerry? How's it going?
Very good. Richard, you'll notice 2 years older than Owen, so it's a bit more kind of, hello, how are you? I'm 17.
Yeah, I got the deep voice, you know what I mean?
That's right, you got the deep voice there. That's because you're taking creatine. Are you on the rugby team, are you?
I am indeed,
Good man. What position do you play?
First centre or number 7.
All right, you're a floater. Now, and I mean that in a heterosexual way, Richard.
All right, okay.
Now, over to Evelyn O'Rourke is going to do a test on you to see if you really are a teenager.
Well, Richard, I gather you're kind of a sophisticated teenager.
Oh, very sophisticated.
You're not
very,
into the
very,
muttering thing. You don't bite the
no,
fingernails. You stand there proud.
Yeah, very mature, you know.
Okay, well, you've heard the bits that we've done so far. Can you think of any 2 topics that you know lurk in the chapters of this book? What would they be worried about for parents handling teenagers?
Yeah. It has alcohol and things, you know, that kind of way.
Yeah.
Underage drinking.
Yeah,
And,
that's definitely in there.
Alcohol's there.
Yeah.
And handling the whole sex thing, you know, that kind of way.
Okay, well, one more now. We've done alcohol and sex. They've popped up. Come on, use your imagination. What
Use
else
your
could be there? Not don't use it
drugs.
too freely. Drugs, yes.
Yeah, drugs are
are there.
definitely in there.
Drugs are there.
And,
They're generally against the whole drugs thing. That'll come as a surprise.
Yeah, they're against
They're
drugs.
down
yeah.
on drugs.
Funnily enough, there is a chapter on where to get really good drugs.
I'm trying to think. I can't really think of anything else. I can't get stuck for words as soon as they come on the radio. Do you know that kind of way?
Ah, yes. You know that syndrome? We call it everybody thinks they can read the news. You know, people are sitting at home, they're going, look at Brian Dobson, what a bleeding cretin. I could do that if I was out of my box, upside down. And then, of course, you know, you come on the radio and it comes up. Well, don't worry.
Well, if this is you stuck for words, you're obviously fantastically articulate.
I think that will actually do very well, Richard. All right, and things that make you cringe, even though we know you do deeply love your parents. I'm presuming both of them are still alive and with you. Because that would have been quite embarrassing if they'd both just recently died.
That is in the book, by the way.
Bereavement.
Bereavement, yes, it's handled.
So we would have gone straight to that.
We'd have gone straight to that chapter.
Things your
I got another point. Bereavement.
Is there something that your parents say, either father or mother, that makes you really worry and hope maybe that there's room down in your friend's home where you could stay after you hear them saying it?
Any of the cliches.
Oh, Jenny.
They'll only be entertained, by the way. They won't be surprised when you say it.
I'm trying to think, like, if I took a girl home, do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That'd be kind of, very, like, if I took a girl home, the embarrassment that I would get out of that would be unbelievable.
Well, what would they say?
I come in and my dad would go, how you doing? Nice to meet you, very nice to meet you. This is my son, by the way. And, like, just, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? You're too old. Just step away. There's no point. Just be quiet.
But don't forget, always remember this, and I apply this to all 17-year-old boys listening.
Right.
The reason that the 17-year-old found the girl that he's brought home attractive is pretty much the same reason that your father's looking at her going, yeah, your man's on the money.
Oh, don't say that! Oh, God! Oh, no!
So, your father may look like something that's just been shot out of the back end of a donkey.
My dad's going to kill me when I get out there.
Is he? Or the worst thing is when your parents try to connect with your friends. And they kind of go like, I
remember myself.
What about the Baltic donkeys? I say I love those. Are no patrol. You could have me for your father, who actually deliberately. I love coming in and going.
Mad
You're not
dad.
still on that bobo, are you?
with your hair on one end. Remember, mad dad.
But Gerry, I really call in to give it to you. Right?
Yes, we heard that.
You exercise a very stereotypical view of teenagers, because I work so hard. Now, I'm trying to save up for a van at the end of summer. I'm trying to get a van.
What do you want a van for?
Because I'm a DJ.
You saw what happened in that 70s show, remember? When he got the van.
So,
when Kelso got the van, remember? It was just a shag festival.
They were queuing up.
We know what you're up to, buddy. It's against the law. Where do you live? Parents of all women, wherever this man is, beware, he's getting a van. Are you going to put a mattress in it? Or will it be carpet?
Just a small room.
I don't think you deserve the comfort.
And you're a DJ?
I am indeed, yeah.
Okay, that's cool. What do you? Tell us the equipment that you've got. Are you old-fashioned vinyl? Are you CDs?
No, I use CD decks and Dynacord speakers. And can I just say, there's a guy probably listening at the moment, and there's a pub over in Monaghan, right?
Yeah.
Called the Crazy Camel. And I was talking to Will Ferrell the other night.
Yeah.
I texted him, and he was wondering about weird names for pubs, and it's called the Crazy Camel. But the funny thing was, I texted him saying I was the house DJ. And all the other DJs in the company, that's the company like I work for, Pulse DJs. So they're not giving a crap to me because
you're not the house DJ.
No, it's too nice.
You're the T-boy.
So the resident DJ texts me and goes, "What the hell are you talking about? The house DJ, the guff I got over it." Oh.
Well, you know something? You'll never get anywhere unless you speak up for yourself.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Put yourself out in the line,
Absolutely.
But Richard, how are you earning the money for the van? Is it through doing DJ gigs?
Well, I DJ and I labour for my dad. Like, every summer I labour for my dad. Like, can I just say, like, I'm on below minimum wage. I'm on like €30 a day. How bad is that?
Oh, you've definitely got grounds for a complaint there.
Yep, very.
And I just want to say, Dad, you're name and shamed. Everybody knows how much you're paying me now. So
that is below the minimum wage.
It's 8.65 now.
If anybody wants to pay me above the minimum wage,
Richard's for hire.
Yeah, I'll be in the local trader next week.
All right. Well, I think this man might be on the money. Music you're listening to, by the way, as opposed to playing.
Really like Razorlight, Snow Patrol are brilliant at the moment.
Yeah.
And
they're even better when they have their keyboard player with them.
Yeah.
Do you ever wonder why they're called Snow Patrol? Huh?
Gerry, you're a great crack, I have to say. Now, I have to say, like, coming into work makes it so much easier having the crack. Like, listen to you on the radio. You're a very good DJ, I have to say. Now. I have to say. Very funny.
So, Snow Patrol and Razorlight. And who do you hate?
Who do I hate? I have to say, don't like Amy Winehouse at all.
Oh, I'm with you on that.
I love Amy Winehouse. Why? You think she's difficult or something?
Give it a break, like,
I think she's
give me a break. Yeah, good voice and a bad attitude.
She's just finding herself right now.
Just finding yourself. How long do you think that marriage is going to last? Will we take bets, Richard? How long do you think it's going to last?
I give it the normal celeb length, about 6 months.
Yeah. If
longer than her can of hairspray, someone was saying.
All right, Richard, you're on. Good morning.
Well, thanks, man, Gerry. Can I say hello to a few people before I go?
Absolutely.
All the people going into 6th year in the Dundalk Grammar School, my mate Brian, Emma, Brian Tansey, all the lads up at the school working at the moment. Nick Voye, I'm working for him at the moment. My dad, Mickey Naylor, my mum, Karen, all my brothers, Mark, Andrew and Alex, and
all who know me.
Everybody knows me.
And the gang at the Crazy Camel as well.
Yeah. Tell Brian Farley, announce this on the radio. Brian Farley, tell him that Richard nailed it. Get the house DJ in the Camel.
And all your assistants in Pulse.
Yeah.
Oh, the trainees.
You know, no, they all work for me.
You're dead, man. You are dead. You crucifixion or flagellation. Richard, good morning.
Thanks, man.
Take it easy there. Okay, I think we're done now, aren't we?
I know. I love a book where that lovely Gemma from Lucan and Richard at the other end can both have a go at it.
Both have a go at it.
It'll be kind of interesting. So in a few weeks' time we'll come back, Gerry, and we'll see what the teens think of the manual written by Dr. Pat
Spunkin.
Hello there, Angus McAnally here now, your director of Glenroe the movie. We're about to shoot the first scene here now. And here we go. Scene 1 sees Miley, played by Jack Nicholson.
Here's Miley.
And Fidelma, played by Mary Finucane.
Right.
And the two of them are rolling around in the hay. And action. Angus McAnally here now.
Angus, I don't have any lines. I just have to keep saying, well, holy God.
Keep rolling there, lads.
Okay.
Hello there, Miley. And a very good afternoon to you. Let's get it on.
Well, holy God, Fidelma.
I'd say you've some weapon on you. All right, Jack or Miley now. This is the bit where you take the old nokes out of the house. Angus McAnally here.
Holy God.
Well, holy God. And cut.
All right.
Janie Mac, lads, didn't know it was going to be so blue. Last time I let John Waters near the script. Anyway, scene 2 sees Father Devereux, a.k.a. Al Pacino, up against Tom Cruise, also known as Dinny Byrne. And action. Angus McAnally here now.
Dinny.
Father.
Hoo-ha. How's it hanging? What's new?
You know, nothing much ever happens in Glenroe. I'm Lucky Charms.
Come on, Dinny. Lots of crazy shit happens here. What about the lettuces? The calves with scour?
No, nothing. I'm telling you, man. What about you?
Don't talk to me. I'm up to my eyeballs in the marital problems of Dick and Mary Moran.
Serious?
That guy's got his dick in everything that moves in this town.
Oh, my God.
I'm talking Fidelma, Biddy, even Teasy, not to mention your calves. His dick must be on fire!
Top of the morning to you, my laddie.
Well, what are you doing, Tom?
Top of the morning.
That far and away stuff don't wash with these folks.
What do you mean?
You can't do an Irish accent.
What?
Cut, lads. Jesus, bestiality in the whole chicken caboodle. Before you know it, we'll have rimming and the whole lot. We'll never get this past the film censor. Anyway, folks, scene 3 and action. Yes.
Oh, Fidelma.
Yes. Miley.
Oh, holy God.
Oh, Miley.
Oh, holy God. Holy God.
Everybody, get down!
What the?
I am Blackie Connors.
Blackie Connors!
Miley Byrne. Last week I sold you 7 bales of hay, a gate, a ripped-off angle grinder, and 2 grams of cocaine.
Blackie.
You did not pay. Now,
what?
You will pay with your life.
Blackie, please!
Your blood will be splattered all over the byroads of Glenroe.
Oh, no!
Hasta la vista, Miley.
Okay, lads, Janie Mac will get an old Oscar for this. The best acting I've seen since Sons and Daughters. What a classic that was.
Well, holy God.
If it isn't Mick Lally, suppose you're here to give your seal of approval to Glenroe the movie.
You're after gone and making a blue movie out of Glenroe.
Well, you know, sure, we had to modernise things a little bit after you set the whole thing back by a century with that old song, The Byroad to Glenroe.
What?
Where the side of the hill meets the byroad to Glenroe. Terrible stuff altogether.
Holy God. Angus, you have mutilated the memory of Glenroe and my friend Mick Lally. Now you must pay. Give me the real bullets.
Yeah.
Well, holy God.
Dermot, good morning to you.
Good morning. I'm just getting the 46A on Leighton Street.
Yep.
I'm 45 minutes late for work and I don't give a monkey.
That's my boy. Hoo-ha!
Let's get on the bus now.
Why are you late?
Because it's effing raining.
Yeah, it is
it's
raining.
It's always raining. Who gives a monkey's arse? The Euro. Connell Street, thanks. I'm just saying to you,
Are you fed up, boy, are you?
No, fed up.
Yeah? Are there many people on the bus?
No, I should call an election, re-elect a new God.
Re-elect a new God?
One that doesn't like urinating on our country 24 hours a day.
Well, you see, God, it's a dictatorship that there. I don't think we're in a position to re-elect.
I would like to do a poll.
Yeah?
Of how peed off are people. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is 35 days of rain.
Is it having that big an effect on you?
Yes.
Can we do anything to cheer this man up, can we? Is there anything we can do to cheer this man up?
It's unbelievable. It's every single day it's raining. I just think it's affecting.
Have you been on holidays, Dermot, have you?
In February.
In February?
Yeah.
What was that, a skiing holiday?
No, I went to Africa in February.
Whereabouts?
Away from the rain. Kenya.
Kenya?
Mombasa.
Mombasa. Oh, no, I've been there. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, sun shines quite a bit. And you only get rain during the rainy season?
Yes. But I just said, I'm on the 46A. Everybody's miserable.
The 46A. I remember that summer in Dublin.
Yes.
And the Lithias, it stank like hell. And the rain pouring down on everybody. And they could all go to hell.
But Gerry, you should do a poll and actually ask about how happy are people right now.
Well, I think the answer would be not very happy.
You know, this like it's taking the mick at this stage. Like somebody's laughing at us. Like this is like it's the 13th, Friday the 13th, July.
Today's what?
Now,
is today? Sorry,
six,
what did you say there? Today's Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
But I'm getting on a plane today.
You're going off on holidays, aren't you?
No, I'm not going off on holidays. I'm going off to interview Lenny Henry in London.
Well, he's funny, yo.
Yeah, he is funny. Yeah.
He'll cheer you up.
He will
like
cheer
Lenny.
me up. Yeah, yeah. He's an interesting guy. I was looking up a lot of stuff about him on the internet last night.
Amazing comedian. He's a good lad.
Yeah, smart guy too.
No, but I would actually, if you do a poll about how miserable people are,
how would I ask that question though? Are you miserable?
Just ring in and do a poll about how rankly depressing.
Dark.
It is just
deep, serious.
It is crap.
God, you sound like you're at the end. Are you going to work? You know, you don't care.
I'm
you're
45
late.
minutes late. I wouldn't give a damn to get sacked.
Right. Okay.
I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
And people like
you sound like you need counselling, Dermot.
No, I need son. That's what I need.
Son, or Rebecca Lewis. That's who
no, I know not her.
No.
I prefer David Beckham, to be honest with you.
Would you?
Yeah, I do. No, straight up though.
What, you'd prefer to give one to David Beckham than Rebecca Lewis?
No, I prefer talent.
Oh, right, yeah, okay, right, yeah.
But to be honest with you, at this moment in time, I probably prefer Lewis. But I'm only saying to you, if you do a poll about how this downtrodden, miserable, incredibly bad weather is affecting the psyche of Irish people, I just think it's like people break up. Old people, old age pensioners. My dad, I mean, was 76.
Yeah.
Between them, and like my dad won't talk to me.
He won't talk to you
because of the weather.
Because of the weather.
Yeah, because it's raining all the time. Like, it has a massive effect on the human condition.
Right. Okay. Well, I don't know what I can do to try and cheer you up.
Well, I just say do a poll, Gerry. Just do a poll.
That would cheer you up, would it?
No, just do a poll and just. No, I'm just saying how it can't get any worse.
It could get worse.
Barbara Streisand's playing tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, that'll cheer people up, won't it?
I'd love to go to see Barbara Streisand, but I'm just saying to you that, you know, if Barbara Streisand, seeing this weather, she'd abort. I mean, you can't deal with this anymore.
That makes her sound
deal with this
that makes her sound like a space shuttle pilot.
Streisand aborting. Yeah, sorry, sir, we can't take to the stage. Too much rain.
No, it's go ahead, rain or shine, by the way, actually. Should mention that.
Oh, well done. But I'm just saying it's unbelievably bad. I'm just saying, you know, if you look out the door, it's
I'm sure I saw it. I was in the car, Dermot. I was in the car.
No, just do a poll about how people's moods are at the moment. And I guarantee it's like...
Hold on a second. Enda wants to speak to you. Not Enda.
Good morning, Gerry.
Good morning, Enda. Say hello to Dermot.
Good morning, Dermot. How are you doing?
Hi,
Enda. How are you very dangerous emotional state.
You work more, Dermot, do you?
I'm 45 minutes for work, late, and I don't give a monkeys are.
All right. Good morning, Dermot. Do you work indoors?
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank your lucky stars. I work outdoors for a living. Right. I'm questioning my vocation or occupation at the moment. I'm a garden maintenance contractor.
You're a gardener?
Yeah.
You're mad.
So, yeah, thank you. So whatever depression that guy has, at least he can go indoors and stay dry. We've got to get out there and do it. Rain, hailers, whatever.
I was out in the garden last night watering because Joe Hanlon told me I had to go out and water last night, even though so I was pissing rain, pissing rain in Clontarf, and I'm standing there in my jocks, right, with a hose, and I just said,
too much information, Gerry.
This is very weird. This is a weird life I'm leading.
Yeah, well, we're out there in it, and we're trying to keep gardens and trying to keep everything done, and. So,
well, how do they look so happy at Glastonbury and everything? And, in Oxygen, do you see the pictures of people skating around in the mud? How do they all look so happy?
That's because, Gerry, they're sitting inside for 50 weeks of the year and they get out for a weekend like that. They're not working in it and trying to do stuff now. It's unbelievably depressing. That guy might be depressed. At least he's going inside to stay dry for the day. Yeah. We're going out to get soaked.
There's no point in doing a garden.
But if
who's going to be in the bleeding garden?
We're contractors. We're paid to look after places to keep them up.
I'll tell you one thing: the fools were paying you because you can't even get a seat in the garden. The rain.
You have to keep the garden going, though.
There are apartment complexes. There are estates that have to be looked after.
No, and I appreciate that, and I'm only joking.
Hold on a second, I want to bring Alice in here as well. Alice, say hello to End and Dermot.
Hello, End and Dermot. I agree with them both there, Gerry.
Yeah.
It's absolutely, Gerry, horrendous.
Yeah.
And the effect it has on me as a mother with 3 children, it's devastating. I spent a lot of money on the little garden, and we were looking forward to sitting out. I got a little canopy and a little patio at the front of the house. We sat out once, Gerry. Yeah. In the evening. We don't go out a lot, we don't have holidays as such. And the garden is our life in the summer. And it's really, the kids are just depressed out of their minds as well.
What are the kids?
At this stage, the government should issue Prozac for anyone.
Prozac for everybody.
Prozac.
Actually, forget about fluoridation of the public water system.
Can I make a point?
Prozac into it. You're right.
Can I make a point?
Yeah.
I say we elect a new god, preferably from the Arab nations, and has never seen rain.
Right.
I tell you, Gerry,
that's what I think.
If I had a few bob, I've never been away on a holiday foreign.
Right.
I just go down with my last few shillings and book a holiday this morning. That's what I'd do.
Well, have you a credit card?
No such thing, Gerry. You're joking. We're only just a working class family, barely getting by.
I was in Dubai last year, and it hasn't rained in Dubai since 2003.
Oh God, isn't that great?
That's the sort of man I want.
Exactly, yeah.
Running this weather.
You want Allah in charge.
Well, I would like a man who doesn't like rain. I hate rain. Okay. Rain upsets me.
Oh no, well, we're fairly clear on that. You all hate rain.
I'm sorry, but it is absolutely. It's just
I was just telling your researcher there, Gerry. Myself and the husband went out for a drive last week.
In the rain.
In the lashings of rain.
Yeah.
I went out to Hope, and we were just watching the boats going by in the lashings of rain, and we weren't the only ones. There were loads of cars full of children, and the parents were laughing at one another out through the window, knowing why we were all there.
Yeah.
It's just unreal.
Well, why don't we all chant together? Let's do this. It might just lift our spirits. Rain, rain, go away.
Never come back again.
Well, what do you know? You know a chant there. What is it? Rain, rain.
Rain, rain, go to Spain. Don't ever come back again.
Okay, that'll do. Right, you ready? Rain, rain, go to Spain. Don't ever come back again. Rain, rain, go to Spain. Don't ever come back again.
To coincide with the release of their album Under the Iron Sea, Keane are live at The Point Thursday, July 19th. Keane live for one night at The Point. Keane. Tickets from $44.20, including booking fee, on sale now. For more, stay with your live music station, 2FM.
I wanna hold you now, now, now. Crazy skies are wild above me now. Winter howling at my face, and everything I held so dear disappeared without a trace. Oh, all the times I tasted love, never knew quite what I had. Little darling, if you hear me now, never needed you so bad. Spinning round inside my head. Sail away with me, honey, I put my heart in your hand. Sail away with me, honey, now, now, now. Sail away with me, what will be, will be. I wanna hold you now, now, now. I've been talking drunken gibberish, falling in and out of bars, trying to get some explanation here by the way some people are. How did it ever come so far? Sail away with me, honey, put my heart in your hand. Sail away with me, honey, now, now, now. Sail away with me, what will be, will be. I wanna hold you now, now, now. Sail away with me, honey, I put my heart in your hand. Sail away with me, honey, now, now. Sail away with me, what will be, will be. I wanna hold you now, now, now. Sail away with me, honey, put my heart in your hand. You break me up if you pull me down. Whoa, sail away with me, what will be, will be. I wanna hold you now, now, now.
Ruth, good morning to you.
Hello.
Good morning, Ruth.
Good morning. How are you, Gerry?
Very good, very good. Welcome. Nice. I was in bed early last night, so
Were
I'm
you?
fighting fit and ready for action.
Lucky for you. I wasn't so lucky.
What happened to you?
Well, no. I have a little 4-day-old baby boy.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'm very excited. My fourth, so he's absolutely terrific. And we have older Alana, Jonathan and Carla, who are thrilled with him, only thrilled with him now. But he was born on Thursday, and that was really why I wanted to phone you, just to thank my husband for doing such a good job, because it wasn't very normal. Well, it was a very normal delivery.
It wasn't a conventional delivery.
It wasn't really
And it wasn't a home birth.
It wasn't
It wasn't a birthing pool.
No, it wasn't a birthing pool.
You didn't go out into a forest like a member of the Bantu tribe.
No, he didn't.
Something more exciting.
It was a bit more exciting than that. In fact, the little guy arrived in class.
Mm-hmm.
He arrived and was born in his daddy's Jaguar car. So he's pretty cool altogether. But, yeah, it was pretty
What kind of a car was it?
A Jaguar.
Oh, that bodes well for the future, doesn't it?
Doesn't it? A lot of friends are saying that, but he's travelled, he's got here in
He's
style.
already travelling in style.
He is.
Was it an XJ or one of the sportier models?
Oh, gosh, I'm desperate on it. I don't think it is.
It's a family saloon, is it?
It is, yeah, exactly.
Okay, so that means he's going to be a stable, reliable young man. If he'd been born, for instance, in one of the more exotic classic Jags or the XK140 or any of the contemporary or current Cabriolet or soft top models, I'd fear that he might have been or might become some sort of playboy.
Well,
but that's not going to happen.
Oh, good. We'll be rest
Okay,
assured.
talk me through the process. You're in the Jag.
Well, do you know, we're not even in the Jag.
Don't tell me you went outside the house deliberately so he could be born in the Jag.
No, I didn't. No. What happened was Thursday morning I'm kind of saying, okay, yeah, we'll go in. At this stage I'm about 4 or 5 days over.
Mm-hmm.
So niggly kind of contractions during the night, but nothing too long. So I said, we're grand. And Tony's very calm.
So they're
about
just the Branstons.
Yeah, this is what I thought, and I was having loads of those. So I wasn't going to, go into Holles Street too early.
I could never figure out what pickles had to do with contractions, but there you have it.
I have no idea. I'm sure I have no idea. But anyway, so we're kind of dealing with things, and it's fine, and I'm getting a good night's sleep, not a bother. So with that, I phoned my mum, and she's only 10 minutes away. So at about 10 to 7, she comes up to me, and at 7 o'clock, she arrives here. And I'm kind of, at this stage, dealing with the contraction. I'm going, yeah, it's grand, but it's not lasting too long. It was about 15, 20 seconds. So I said, we'll be grand. So I get from the kitchen to the front door and I have to get down again and deal with another one. I said, okay. So Tony at this stage is going, now listeners, we have to get in the car the next one because we have to go. Now my whole thing was that we'll make it, we'll be fine, because my waters hadn't broken at all. So I thought, we'll be fine. So we hop into the car and I get into the back seat. And Tony, well, he doesn't go like the clappers, but he goes fairly well down. We're up in Sandyford, so he's going down the Goatstown Road at this stage.
And it's always an interesting moment. You're sort of empowered. You feel as if you're contributing because you're driving the car, but really that's as far as it goes. Thus far.
Well, I think
thus far.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think he's doing very well now. So anyway, he's flying along. And then at some stage, he had asked me at this stage, should we phone the hospital to get them ready? But I guess I was just thinking, I wasn't actually thinking of anything at that time. And, he didn't feel I had to phone then. But then he obviously heard the panic in my voice. And he pulled in aside on the Goatstown Road and phoned the ambulance. Now, with phoning the ambulance, they were so helpful, and that's what Tony wanted to thank them so much, because they were actually so good. When he phoned, they asked where he was and everything on the Goatstown Road, and they said, listen, we've got somebody coming up to you now. How is your wife? So he opens the back door, and at this stage, I'm trousers down and the head's coming out.
Fantastic.
Absolutely amazing, Gerry. So with that, he goes, he talks...
Were you wearing a tracksuit or...
Do you know what? I was wearing my dungarees.
Good for you.
Which a friend of mine will laugh about and say, my God, those dungarees still going around.
But very practical.
Very practical.
So you had your trousers down around your ankles and the baby's coming into the world.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
And Tony's talking to this man on the telephone and he goes, okay, Tony, this is what you'll do. So Tony...
And what's the ambulance man saying? Is it a 3.8 or 4.2?
I don't... So anyway, he's all ready for action. And your man goes, so do you have a towel? And Tony goes, yes, I put a fresh towel in the car.
Good lad.
Isn't he good? He had it all ready for me. But anyway, so he says, yeah, not a bother, I have that. So he says, okay. When Baby's Head comes out, because kind of Baby's Head was almost out, and then it came out. So Tony cleared the airways and made the little guy breathe. And I, at this stage, couldn't hear any breathing, but I was rest assured that Tony could see it and was fine. And with that, the guy on the phone goes, now, with the next push, you're going to see the shoulders and whatever. So with that, all hell broke loose, and the whole body, the whole shebang came out. I'd say within about.
And what was your husband doing at this stage?
Seconds.
Mind the seats!
Not quite.
What colour are the seats?
Colour of the seats, I think a kind of a
beige.
Beige, yeah,
Oh,
exactly,
dear.
brownie beige.
God, I'd have had you out on the road.
Oh, okay.
Without wishing to be
This is the
insensitive,
thing.
dear, but could you just come away from the seats?
This is the thing, Jerry, that there wasn't actually, the waters, there wasn't actually that much waters. I'll justify it by that.
Good, well
But
done.
It was fine. But with
And how
that,
quickly did, you're using, by the way, did you notice you're using the midwife speak? You know the way they do the, baby's coming now, here comes baby's head.
Oh, yeah, this is the thing. And Tony's seeing all this. Tony's seeing that.
Baby arriving, look, here comes baby.
Oh, absolutely. He's seeing the head arriving. He's seeing the shoulders coming out and all this kind of thing. And with that, anyway, he says, the guy on the phone says, okay, put baby on your on mummy's lap.
Yeah.
Lift up the T-shirt and make sure mummy and baby are in, flesh contact.
Yeah.
So baby's
Good
put
idea.
on me. Baby's put on me, and I'm
That's
looking
very
down.
important. That's really important.
Oh, it is seemingly, yeah, this is the thing. So anyway, Tony's kind of so delighted and telling, oh my God, it's a baby boy, and he's fine, and he's breathing, and he's grand. And with that, pops him on my belly, and then it's gone. And I'm going, where's he gone?
Where did he go?
He heard the ambulance coming. So he was waving them down to come into me. So that's how quick the ambulance arrived. They were terrific. This is now the branch. They were the fire brigade down in Donnybrook. Yeah. And I think they were called Division C. Mm. But just to thank them so much. I mean, they were there like a shot. Now, when they arrived, they were kind of so, oh, God, you guys have done such a great job. Like, well done, whatever. Now, we were just kind of going, oh, well, we still have to finish the job because the cord hadn't been cut and all this kind of thing. But they were so good.
And where did you cut the cord? Did you cut it in the hospital, or did you do it there and then?
They did it in the hospital. They did it actually out in the Jag. What had happened was that when they
what
arrived,
an ad for Jag!
I know.
You can live your whole life in a Jag.
We'll talk to them, won't we, down in Sandyford? But no, they cut the cord then, and then they wrapped baby up in foil and everything like that.
I can see it. The Jag brings new life into your world.
Absolutely amazing. But as Tony
and what
said,
are you going to call this young fella?
This little man is Robert Quinlan. Yeah. We haven't got a second name for him as such. We haven't thought of the other names. But
You're no relation to Derek Quinlan, are you?
Not that I know of, no. So it'll be Robert Kelly Quinlan.
Robert
my name
Kelly.
Is Kelly.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
and
you
what a
very much.
fantastic story. And what a great achievement for you and your husband.
Absolutely terrific now, it really is. But just to thank Tony for he just was so amazing at that moment.
Well, we men can be amazing. It's only about once a year, but...
No, pretty much now. He was just so in control of it all, and, like that he was being talked through what to do, and he wanted to thank, whoever was at the end of that line at 7:22 on Thursday morning, the 12th, just to say thank you so much for talking him through. He was
congratulations,
just... Yeah, absolutely.
Well done.
I mean, there's terrific people out there to help, and they really...
Will you go again?
No. As Tony was saying to somebody, what's that? Is that your fourth? And he goes, the last. So we're quite happy to say that'll probably be it.
It's a shame, really, because I think they're changing the design of the XJ.
Oh, really?
We might have a new Jag on the way. You never know. You might have gotten a deal.
We might keep that. We might keep that out the front. Keep his old car out the front and get the new one
just
or something.
All right. Well, well done.
Talking to you, Gerry. Okay?
Well done, and enjoy every minute of that new life. Okay.
Oh, we will indeed. But thank you all to all of them in Donnybrook.
Okay. Good morning.
Take care. Bye bye.
There you go. Isn't it great to hear somebody so happy and so excited? The rest of the world is irrelevant right now to that woman because she's got a brand new baby. Fiona, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
Very good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
So I'm experiencing some headphone malfunction here. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Seem to be working now. Now, you've lived in the United States for 14 years.
That's right.
In the city of fantasy, Las Vegas, for 4.5 years.
For the last 4.5, yeah.
And now you're coming back home.
Yeah.
One of the returning diaspora.
Yes, I am. Despite all your attempts to put us off, I'm still coming anyway.
Well, no, I wouldn't like to think that I was putting people off, but
You were just giving us a dose of reality, especially with
yes,
the weather.
absolutely. Well, this is our 52nd day. I think it's the 52nd day, isn't it? 52nd day of rain. It has washed out everything from concerts to football matches. And also people's emotional well-being has been pretty washed out by it as well. Mind you, we did have a magnificent April and May, literally an Indian summer. So what brings you back?
Well, we're coming back to bring up our children who are little, 6 and 4.
Yeah.
And we're in the worst or the second worst state in the nation for education. So we need to get them out of this
Las
state.
Vegas is what, Nevada, isn't it?
Nevada, yeah.
Yeah. And Nevada's a pretty wealthy state, isn't it?
Very wealthy, yeah.
Yeah, and so how could they possibly have the second worst record for education?
There's no political will here. So it's the...
For anything other than development?
Yeah, development and, keeping the casinos going, which is fine, that's what it is, except, education, there's almost 2 million people here now. So it's really become quite a big city. And it's the 5th largest school district in the nation, which is kind of hard to believe.
Wow.
But it's
that's incredible. What would Bugsy Siegel have said about that all those years ago?
I'm sure he's turning in his grave. But it's definitely...
I'd say he's been I'd say he's been dug up a few times.
Yeah.
And how bad could it be?
It's bad. I taught in the college here. I taught English at the college, and so did my husband for a couple of years. And, the kind of level you'd be meeting at age 19 and 20 would be pretty much what I think we might meet at 13 or 14 in Ireland. Now, that's a generalisation.
Well, that wouldn't be good.
No, it's not good. Now, it also wouldn't cover the entire education system in Nevada, but our...
That's what I was about to say. If you've a will, is there not a way of making sure that your kids go to a school that's good?
There is private schooling, and it's excellent. In fact, our kids go to private school, and it's really amazing, and we love it, and we're going to miss it. But it's bankrupting us, because, we just can't...
How much, just out of curiosity, Fiona?
Well, it's $1,000 a month, and that's 12 months a year, because you have to...
Jeepers, $1,000 a month?
Yeah, you're looking at $12,000 per child. We have 2 children, so that's $24,000 a year.
My God.
And then you have a mortgage and everything else, and, it's kind of bankrupting us.
That is expensive.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I wrote a cheque for a couple of grand there recently for one of my sons, but I actually think it was money that I owed from the term before, plus another year in advance. I mean, it was nothing like that.
No, nothing like that. No. I mean, what you get for that money is really amazing.
What do you get for it? It would want to be an awful lot.
Well,
bells, whistles and tassels I'd want for that.
Bells and whistles and bouncy castles and swimming lessons.
Well, what kind of facilities would you be getting for $1,000 a month?
Well, I mean, the facilities would be fairly ordinary. It'd be a playing field, and there's a swimming pool and a gym, but then they do throw in some, field trips and...
But you're saying it's the actual quality of the teaching that's good.
Yeah, the teachers are really, really dedicated. They're kind of very vocational people who often actually have money, who are working in the system because they love it, not for the money, because they don't get paid well either. So it's kind of a sad situation. I mean, there are some good schools. We happen to live in a neighborhood that has a reasonably good school district. But my husband and I racked up debt from our own education, and we kind of feel that it wouldn't be that fair to get the best for ourselves and then fling our kids to the lions,
Well, no, you can't do that. Because I'm now more than ever, more than any stage in my life as a parent, I'm convinced that appropriate schooling, and I don't just mean preparation for exams, I mean the whole package that goes with it, the kind of kids that your children end up associating with or not, more to the point, really defines where they're going to end up as young adults. What do yourself and your husband do? Have you jobs, both of you?
Yeah, we do. Well, we have jobs here. We don't have jobs in Ireland.
Well, what do you do over there?
My husband is a producer for National Public Radio here,
and
he's with the local affiliate KNPR. And he loves that job, and he's done some hosting.
Radio or television?
Radio, yeah.
Well, there might be a job for you here. I've heard some ads recently on RTE.
We'll be looking into them. But I am a real estate appraiser. So I value houses, but the bottom's dropped out of the market here, so there's no work, which is kind of a coincidence because we were moving anyway.
Yeah.
But this reinforces the wisdom of our move for us, because financially we don't have the kind of money we need to survive, and no way could we continue
Well,
with our children.
property is a huge industry still in this country, despite some areas of the media trying to constantly talk down that aspect of the economy. It's still a massively significant part of our economy here.
Yeah. I do read the papers and stuff in Ireland as much as I can.
So when are you going to come back?
2 weeks today.
Oh, what have you got planned?
30th of July. And we've shipped our house and our car and everything. It's gone. We're going. The tickets are booked. We're coming the 30th.
And where are you staying at the moment? In Vegas?
We're living in our own house that we used to rent out.
And will you be able to... you rented a house, did you?
No, we owned the house, but we had it as a rental to other people.
Okay.
We got rid of the renters, moved in, and sort of did up the house because it was a bit trashed. And now it's for sale, but we're leaving with or without a contract. We're going. We're going to leave it on the market.
So you've nothing planned here, and you haven't sold your house.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's kind of brave, isn't it?
Sounds crazy, yeah. It's a little bit of a leap into the dark, but...
Well, it's no crazier, I suppose, than it was going to the United States in the first place.
Yeah, well, we went to San Francisco with no jobs and no prospects, and we managed all right. Okay, now, I wouldn't say we were the world's greatest success story, but we've managed,
Well, you're making this phone call today, so, you must have got it right somewhere.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that, but...
And have you somewhere to live when you get back here?
We do. That's the part that's really good. We do have somewhere to live. My father has a house in the west of Ireland. He might be listening right now. He's over there on holiday. Mm-hmm. He lives here as well. My parents live in Las Vegas.
And is that where you're going to go, to the west of Ireland, is it?
Yeah, we're going to Newport, County Mayo.
Okay.
So it's, it is a bit of a change.
Well, if there's anybody listening from Newport in County Mayo, is this a good idea? Phone us now, 1850 715 922.
It'd be interesting to hear what they'd say. And
well, the West is a beautiful place to live. There's no doubt about that. And there's a lot of what I would call positive discrimination in terms of development and infrastructural support and investment heading that way. Right. And now, while the relocation stuff, the idea of relocating a lot of the government services and buildings and offices outside of the Dublin area has not worked. It hasn't worked at all. Yeah. And in fact, the minister largely responsible for that, Tom Parlin, has left politics completely and has gone into business now. I still do think that there's a lot of potential in the west of Ireland. And I think a lot of companies thinking of locating to this country for the kind of corporate tax breaks that you can get here would look to the west and see low traffic jams, low levels of housing density, good quality of life. So you could be doing the right thing, the brave thing now, admittedly, but the right thing.
Well, we're keen to start a business if we possibly can.
What would you like to do?
Well, we're both radio fanatics.
Yeah.
We definitely want to do some podcasting for starters, which you can do with no money.
Yeah.
From home. My husband's already hosted some radio here at KMPR, and we're sort of keen to follow that route. We both have sort of creative backgrounds, but of course, reality set in, and we have to do whatever you have to do, which I'm...
Well, you've got to do whatever... If you have to do it in the nude, on a difficult day, you do it in the nude, is my...
And I'm completely prepared to do that, absolutely, but...
Well, if you're willing to broadcast in the nude, we might give you a job here.
No. You haven't met me. But, so we're looking into some, broadcasting opportunities.
Well, it's a very exciting time. I'll read you the headline from the front page of the Times today.
Okay.
Dennis O'Brien's Communicore. You're familiar with Mr. O'Brien, aren't you? Yes. His group is set to buy the state's largest commercial radio station, Today FM, and the leading Dublin station, FM 104, in a €200 million deal. A former producer in charge of this show, in fact, is the CEO of Today FM, Mr. Willie O'Reilly, who will now take on the title of Emperor of the Galaxy in this new takeover. This is a very exciting time. RTE has been going through a lot of personal change, and we're looking forward to a very exciting, competitive future. And our friends in the commercial business will be, without doubt, grasping the nettle as well. So you are coming back at an exciting time.
That's what we think.
Yeah.
We think it is an exciting time, and there's no time like now, as my father has always told me.
Well, I tell you, can we do the same deal as we did with a couple of people we were talking to last week? So a couple of people are heading off to various different parts of the world, leaving this country. In fact, I think they left last weekend, 2 families, didn't they? Where were they going again, guys? Can you remind me? Canada. They were both heading off to Canada, which is one that we haven't spoken about too often, and they had very ambitious plans. They were also leaving under exceptional circumstances. They had a lot of money. So there were people who were leaving their homes back here for rental. They didn't have to sell them. They were well placed. So we're going to be keeping an eye on them. We're going to take calls with them over the next 2 weeks before we take our own break to see how they've settled in. And then hopefully over the next year or so, we'll charter their progress. So maybe we'll do the same with you as coming back, as returning diaspora. Okay? Okay, so when you get back here, give us a shout. And we'll follow your progress as you bed in and see how you do in terms of the job end of things.
I will, and I'll chant with everybody for the sun when I'm there.
Okay, well, we'd
Here
appreciate that.
For the rain.
Bring us, you're certainly in the right state to bring sunshine.
We'll bring as much as we can fit in our suitcases.
Okay, well, bon voyage, good luck, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for talking to me.
Good morning. That's Fiona and her family, hubby. They've been in the United States for 14 years. They've been in Vegas for 4.5 years, and they're coming home. We'll keep an eye on them and see how they get on. And they're coming home in much the same spirit as so many millions left this country over the last 150 years. They have a plan, but that's about it. Let me take you back to last Friday, where we spoke with a curious woman. You might be forgiven, but not completely, for thinking that she's an example of either a dying or dead breed. She was young Kelly Hoff. And she wears the ring of purity because she is a member of the True Love Waits Brigade. This is a group of people, 3 million of them, by the way. They're not a small organisation, who believe that you should not have sex until you find the man or indeed the woman of your dreams and marry them. No nookie until the midnight hour. Joseph, good morning to you.
How you doing, Jay?
Welcome. You were listening on Friday. You heard Kelly.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Well, actually, to be honest, I didn't actually hear it. I heard about it, and I heard the statement that, you know, whether it was yourself or whether it was Kelly, there's no Irish people, still virgins.
Maybe I was being a bit facetious. That would have been me. I doubt it was Kelly. I don't think she's too much information regarding the level of virginity in Ireland or not. But I said that we had tried to get a comment from the Irish Virgins Association, but they'd been disbanded.
Well, you know, in about 8 days, I'm getting married, so I'm afraid I'll be losing my virginity too. Well, rather losing, I'll be giving it away to my wife. So.
And you're a virgin.
I'm a virgin, yeah.
And is your wife?
My wife is a virgin. Well, she's
your
not my
wife to be.
Yeah, she's a virgin too. Okay. She's 22. I'm 21.
Okay. Was this a deliberate decision?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. When did you come to this? I mean, Kelly Hoff decided during a sort of Baptist sabbatical away from school when she was 11 that she was going to do this. She went on the equivalent of, I suppose, a retreat when I was a young fella. And they were told all about the True Love Waits programme, and she signed up for it. So when did you decide?
Well, we both made a decision. We've been going out since we were 14. We both kind of made the decision as we were starting to go out. I mean, we both attended church, you know, and the youth group in particular, in the city centre, since we were about 14. And I guess the True Love Waits thing is an organisation, but it's obviously coming from a bigger idea, which stems from the teachings of God in the Bible, and so the same principles would be upheld by most Christian churches, and so that was always the kind of the type of teaching and the advice that we were given by our mentors in the youth group and in the church.
Well, I think anything that involves restraint has a degree of nobility to it. I've never been able to fully discover where in either the Old or the New Testament virginity, or indeed waiting until you're married to have sex with somebody, is actually celebrated or even mentioned. It does say a lot of things about not having it off with animals or your sister, or doesn't. But where does it say that virginity in itself is a praiseworthy thing?
Well, to be honest, I mean, I wouldn't have gone to Bible school, and I wouldn't be able to tell you straight off the bat, you know, the exact references for all that sort of thing. But
So why did you do it? Why?
It's not just. I mean, I'm not just going to take whatever a pastor or a teacher is going to tell me and just accept it. For me, like, and for my fiance, we just decided because we just think it's such a special thing and such a special bond that for us to we didn't want to run the risk of sleeping together and then possibly not, ending up together for the rest of our lives, because I didn't want to have any kind of memories or, it's such a special thing. I believe that it's too special to share with two people, or even more. So I wanted it to be something beautiful that grows rather than coming to the wedding night and having all this experience and previous knowledge and memories.
But would it matter if the
people.
experience and previous knowledge was with, your wife to be, your intended, the woman you hopefully will spend the rest of your life with? Would that matter that much? Because it would be my firm belief, now of course I'm not speaking for the whole world, it would be my firm belief that this celebration of virginity is, certainly has a place, for instance, in Uganda in the middle of their AIDS programme there. But it really is born out of the Catholic Church's desire many hundreds of years ago to demonise women, see them as the vessels of Satan, and to be fairly blunt about it, blame women for all bad things that came into the minds of men. It's not us, or indeed our genitals, but indeed the women's bottoms that made us that way. Anybody except us to blame, in other words. And they came up with this system, and they really did demonise women. When you think about it, women were unclean during menstruation. Women after a child had to be churched. Women covered their head, because St. Paul, one of the great women haters of all time, though he did have good sides to him, all right, didn't really think that women had a place except for, the basic functions.
Well, I think a lot of what you're talking about is definitely in the past, and it's definitely a cultural kind of context. Obviously, we don't see that today, which is great.
So yours, what you and your wife to be did is something that's between just the two of you.
Oh, definitely. It's a total
and did you discuss
choice.
it together? Did you?
Yeah, it's not something that we were ordered to by our church or anything like that. It's a proactive decision. It's not something that we don't feel that we're being restricted.
And do you get slagged, Joseph, over it?
Well, there always was times, but we're it's not something that we're ashamed of. I mean,
and neither should you be, by the way.
Now,
and neither should you be ashamed of it either. No.
No, it's and I don't think that it's. I mean, there's kind of a mindset that everyone is having sex, but I don't think that's the case.
No, everybody hopes that they're going to have sex.
Yeah, and probably a lot of people would claim that they're having sex, but I mean.
But do you, without getting into too much sticky detail, do you get down to anything?
Sticky details. No, we're saving everything. I mean, obviously we kiss.
And what happens when the old demon starts to rise? What do you do?
Cold shower. No, I mean.
By the way, can I just tell you, Joseph, you might be doing that when you're married as well.
Well, listen, there's always temptation, and one of the things, like we bought an apartment about a year and a half ago.
Don't tell me you're living together.
No, see, that's one thing that we decided we were going to wait. Now, I don't think that it's necessarily wrong to live together, but we just felt that it was good to live apart until we were married.
Well, I presume she's a good-looking girl, yeah?
Oh, she's beautiful.
Okay, well, there's no way, even if you grew wings and a halo, would you be able to live together and not?
Exactly. That's my opinion. So we because
I mean, maybe she could, but I think, to be honest, I think fellas.
No, I don't think I'd be able to.
No, you'd be in the shower night and day.
Yeah.
And what about the old one off the wrist? Do you ever indulge there?
Well, that's a debate among a lot of people. Yeah, I mean, it's something that everyone struggles with. I wish that I had never partaken in that, but obviously, yeah, I have, and I still do, from time to time, and it's something that I think everyone probably struggles with. Most Christians will even say that they don't,
Well, they're spoofers.
Yeah, they're liars. But
well said.
But I mean, I have a group of friends, and I think it's more than just not partaking in certain acts. I think it's also about your mind.
Yeah.
It's also about just living a pure life.
Will you not be absolutely petrified though on your wedding night?
No, I mean, I've thought about it obviously a lot, but
I mean, particularly because her expectations will well, they'll be up through the ceiling in terms of how romantic and beautiful and fabulous it's going to be. There's a lot of responsibility on you.
Well, don't worry. I mean, we've been together 7 years. We've talked about it a lot, and I think we're just gonna try to have fun, relax, and enjoy ourselves. We're not gonna try to put any pressure on each other. And from one respect, I mean, I don't have any previous experience. So I don't really have any expectations, and neither will she. I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful that we can start and we can build, rather than trying to perform and trying to be better than the last. I think I'm really happy that we made the decision, and it's definitely a proactive thing.
Are you going away on a honeymoon?
Oh yeah, we're going to Thailand for 2 weeks.
Oh, fantastic! If you can't get it together in Thailand, on one of those beautiful beaches, there's no hope for you. Listen, maybe you give us a buzz in a week's time. Tell us how you get on.
No worries.
Would you do that?
Well, in a week's time, I'm
you
getting
won't be married.
on the 25th.
Okay, give us a buzz in 2 weeks' time, right?
But I might be in Thailand, so it might be.
That's fine. We'll pay for the phone call. We'll phone you, okay?
Okay.
And before I let you go, can I wish you the very best of luck?
Thanks, Jack.
And I hope you have a long and healthy and a happy marriage, okay?
Thank you very much.
Good luck. Take care.
Cheers.
Gerry